memes and brain rot. On surface level, both of these things may seem a little indistinguishable. But if we take a look below the surface level and actually get into what makes each of these things, there is a world of difference. So, to begin with, memes by themselves are either derived from or made for current world events, or at least as a common type of meme. So, either there is a meme going on about whatever's happening in the world currently, or a world event can influence a meme. This gives it an inherent meaning to it, whether it be to make fun of the world event or to inform people of said world event. Outside of this, memes can be something that has pays reference, I guess, towards specific things, like the Face Clan back in early to mid 2000s. MLG memes very much paid respect to them. It was reverence and a celebration of the MLG clan in a form of meme type. Now, aside from that, memes don't only get their meanings from either world events or very popular groups. Usually, you can assign a meme a meaning by yourself, or the creator themselves can try to assign a meaning to the meme that they are posting. So, for example, memes that signify something bad is about to happen in the next couple of seconds. That is a widely assigned meaning to the meme because of what the context is. Now, brain rot. The other side of the proverbial coin of memes. Brain rot, unfortunately, is a byproduct of today's current shortening attention spans. And as such, it is tailor-made in order to capitalize on short attention spans in order to be either consumed en masse, chase a trend, be as different as possible, and usually is widely considered as slop. Unfortunately, the many things that make up memes are very vacant when talking about brain rot, because unfortunately brain rot is quite literally the antithesis of creativity. It is devoid of a soul, it is devoid of creativity, and oftentimes the jokes that are made from them can very well be overused and overdone within the bands. The actual makeup, I guess you can say, of memes is, well, comedic timing, creativity, and whatever may be happening in the world currently. Because of these core components, memes are able to be representations of the creativity of the people of the internet. Aside from this, well-crafted memes, because of how well they're made, can stick in the minds of many for a really without ever really dying. Because, well, people remember them fondly. They're classics. So, then what's brain rot? Brain rot, unfortunately, is the opposite. It is meant to be consumed en masse, it is soulless, it is easy to produce, it is slop. It has no creativity, and it has no inherent meaning to put behind it. To try to assign meaning to brain rot is to try to commit to the definition of insanity and expecting something to change. So, with that out of the way, we can go ahead and get on to the actual conversational bit of the video. Let's see. So, whenever I'm looking at, I guess, memes versus brain rot, it's more so a thing of creativity versus the opposite of it, or at least that's kind of how I view it, or how the script for the video kind of just boiled down to. Do you have any thoughts on it?
Well, personally, I would say that when it comes to brain rot versus memes, it's pretty much they're both the same.
Yeah,
I mean, the things that we liked back then, probably people think is kind of cringe these days. In fact, looking back at it, it is kind of cringe to think that some of the memes that we liked were a lot more like something that you'd be in the know for knowing. Whereas as things of modern day are like, most people will know about them and think, oh, it's kind of cringe. Like, what's this goofy stuff people are making fun of or having laughs over? It's like, Skibbity Toilet, for example, is like something that I used to be into, like before it got really popular. And I was like, oh, that's kind of goofy. It's just SFM type stuff that people are just doing for the fun of it.
Yeah.
And then it became this whole big thing that people started taking outside of that as like a meme that people were just, making a lot of music over and shit, like in real life. So what we saw as cringe is like their new type of meme format. And in some ways, I would even say that some of the memes these days don't exactly last as long as some of the older memes, because if you think about it, a lot of the memes these days tend to only last for like about a few weeks, maybe a month at most. Whereas everybody still remembers and, will probably reference things like the Nyan Cat or the Troll Face, which had a new iteration later these days.
Yeah. I do agree with like your statement on like the whole they are very similar and can very well be like the same thing. But at the same time, whenever I'm looking at them, I guess the way I'm looking at them is kind of like in a deconstructive kind of manner, where I'm trying to like take apart what exactly makes them tick in the proverbial sense. And what I've been able to notice so far is the fact that, at least with the older memes, as you said, the core like fundamental aspects of them are that it is comedic timing, like reference for something of that time, and or a reference for the whatever may be going on at that point in time, which to me kind of gives like the memes like a soul, in the proverbial sense, because it's like they have their own personality, they have like an actual identity to them. Whereas with some of the brain rot, it's more so, or it feels more so like trend chasey, or just there for the sake of mass consumption by people watching it.
Well, it could be a bit of some of that like forced production as a way of being like memey to get people's attention. But
yeah,
to be fair, I think a lot of memes, if not all memes, are like that. It's something that people latch on to.
Yeah.
And whether or not you think the meme is funny or not, if the majority of people agree that this is a good meme or a quality meme, it tends to go pretty viral, which is the case for a lot of these older memes that ended up affecting a lot of people's real lives, because they were like, hey, you're the Bad Luck Brian dude, or hey, you're that girl who was the obsessed girlfriend type meme.
Yeah.
And some of those people either were affected positively by becoming a meme, and some people were affected negatively, depending on how they responded to these things that affect them in their real life.
Yeah.
And some of them today are kind of the same, where it's like we remember those old memes, but then there's memes of people like Haktua Girl, who she kind of took to it positively, but then kind of used that fame for more I wouldn't say malicious, but just ill-intended purposes. Like it kind of missed the mark where she was supposed to be doing with that fame, because she started turning it into a negative reputation, which is what most people know for it now.
Oh, also, real quickly, Bing did join. I think they're still over at the spawn area.
Right.
So, before we continue, because I do have another interesting thing to bring up.
I'm just existing.
Okay. You're free to join the conversation if you want. Me and Tom have already started a little bit, though.
But okay. I got my camera so I can
I
see
think you should have something to say about memes today versus memes in the old days.
Your input
I don't know the old memes, just the new memes.
Well, I mean, either way, your opinion is still valuable, though. Because it's important to have several different sides of an argument.
Still just overwhelmed from earlier.
Okay.
Overwhelmed? What happened?
The Prime thing.
Poor Panda Bean.
So then,
I knew it
another
was
thing
coming.
that I kind of noticed, or like have picked up on a little bit, is the fact that, at least with older memes, they do seem to have some level of purpose, or not purpose, but like meaning. That's the word I'm looking for behind them. So, for example, if you were to look at something like the MLG memes, it was very much in reverence and or of celebration of the FaZe Clan group that was around at that time and were very popular. And at the same time, I've noticed that at least with some, well, probably some modern memes and also primarily of brain rot, it is mostly, I guess, highly self-contained without any underlying meaning behind them.
Oh. Well, I would say it kind of depends, because you ever seen that one meme that was posted by the Odd One Out, where it was basically just the same meme that people are making about, well, memes from today versus years ago, where it's like memes back then. I call this one Cutie Lizard Larry. He makes all these positive posts for you to enjoy. And then it's like memes today. So you want to make a cool meme? Well, first you got to get a creepy background with some creepy silhouettes, and then put in some big bold text that says, "Me and the boys at 3 a.m. looking for beans." And it's like, yeah, that's unironically funny, because it's not so much because of the purpose behind it, but just the fact that it hits what I think makes people laugh the most about it. It's like the idea of people who have a irreverent humor, such as, like, you know, making a bit of facetious jokes at times. It's probably unwarranted, but it's like some people do have weird coping mechanisms which makes them do that kind of stuff, because some people, when it comes to these ill-intent moments, they tend to try and make a lighter joke of these things, not because it's a way of being mean or anything, but it's just how they cope with these situations that they're probably not used to.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, when I get into awkward situations with people, I usually tend to just kind of maybe giggle a little or laugh a little bit, just kind of lighten the mood of things a bit. And some people, it's like, when it comes to their memes, they have these ways of like, oh, this is kind of topical to a situation that might be happening at this moment, or oh, this is something that people might feel as like, oh yeah, that's relatable. It's like the whole, oh, did you ever do these things when you were in high school? And it's like the 4 horsemen of the school apocalypse, and it's like run your fingers across the boards, or throwing the spitballs at the ceiling, stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, that's relatable, and I think people find a bit of the funniness in humor, knowing that, oh yeah, I was like that. Ha!
Yeah. So
It's the same for both before and after with these memes.
yeah. So going back to, like, I guess not every meme having like a direct meaning behind it. Another thing I did kind of start thinking about is the fact that sometimes memes can have a assigned meaning either by the author or the person viewing them. One of the primary examples I was thinking about of this is all the memes that are kind of like indicating that something bad is about to happen within the next couple of seconds, or in reaction to said bad thing happening. And aside from that, going back to what you said about like the whole relatable memes, that in itself could also be a meaning behind the meme, being the fact that it is trying to relate to like what is commonly considered a common occurrence throughout one's childhood.
True. And I think there is some point to that. And I don't know, really. I can't really say too much about that, as I'm not too sure if I have much experience in that. But what I do know is that, yeah, sometimes it's all about this emotional conveying that memes are trying to do, versus like the memes back then, which were the emotions themselves, and whether or not you attached to those emotions or something. It was kind of dependent, because it's like back then there was a lot of these like whole still images and stuff, because, well, there wasn't really like the whole multiple pages or like multiple slots that people were doing. So it'd be like, you know, the grooming, where it's like, build up your resume, get a good job, work there for a good time, still only a like accountant. And then it's like, what? It's like, some people I've seen criticize that one meme in particular because it's 6 slots instead of just being the 5, which the people think would be more better, I would probably say. Yeah, shorter and to the point, where it's like, I don't think that second to last, like that last one is as needed, because it's basically the same one, but he's just like, wait, what? But it's like, it kind of adds to it, and whether or not you agree to it, I mean, that's fine. And, maybe it would be better with or without it. And I think that's entirely up to the person who decides to do that. And it's like, make a great meme. Meme is doing well. Gets a bit of up posts. People don't like that it's 6 instead of 5 slots.
Yeah.
And it just ends there. It doesn't do the 6th one.
Yeah.
I've seen that one before. And, these are memes that we kind of enjoy these days, but we take kind of for granted because back in the days, it was always just about the top text, bottom text, and then it would depend on which characters being placed in there, such as like the obsessed girlfriend or Bad Luck Brian or Scumbag. What was his name? Well, depending on which one you picked, it would convey those emotions. And through those emotions, it would have some sort of information like with the scumbag dude. It would be like, yo, I was just about to come over, but I was too busy doing other things more important than you or something like that. It's like, yeah, that conveys a bit of that scumbag kind of attitude that the meme has with it versus, trying to convey you the emotion that you feel out of it instead of the other way around. So there's a bit of two different sides to how the memes work versus like the memes back then versus the memes now. Yeah. Maybe some of them these days do still do that, but it's not as common because now we have the ability for like multiple slots to do like build up to the punchline,
Yeah. Also, sorry, 1 second.
Nate! Hi, Kitty Bean.
Nate.
You want to discuss the differences between memes now versus memes then?
So, currently doing
like
the video...
brain rot?
Yeah, so the video topic is basically taking a more philosophical look at the general construction of memes, their purpose, and also kind of comparing that with current day brain rot kind of stuff. And so we're just kind of like discussing like maybe what's the makeup of a meme, what's its impact, like how, or a good point Tom brought up, expressing an emotion versus making the meme that is the emotion.
Right.
And so it's kind of following that kind of like philosophical train of thought of like...
I warned him about
kind of, or the way I'm thinking about it is
what?
Deconstructing the meme.
Prime.
How does it work?
Prime.
Does it inspire creativity?
Yeah.
And how is its effect on everything else?
It's not
and
that big
Tom
a deal.
Is looking at it
Drake's
kind of
just
like
being
more
a bit
historical
salty.
look
I think
and
it's
like
funny.
saying his
I
opinion.
do agree with him that someone's playing a game and he has to mess with it.
You're free to join the conversation if you
that
like.
part. Yeah, that's true.
But your opinion is
It's
does
one
that
thing if
every
I'm
single
already
time
out
we
and I'm just kind of
join 'em.
spectating, but like, doing
Yeah.
that every time.
I may chime in,
that
may not.
does get annoying.
Brain's a little fried.
Okay.
When it
It
comes to
definitely wears
Phil
it out
he
of it.
flies.
Every time it's annoying.
Okay. Where...
So annoying when he just flies around like that.
Yeah.
We were just talking about how there was the differences between how meme will convey the emotions.
Yeah. Sorry, I had something lined up, and I'm trying to remember or what that was. I think I remember. So before I get to that, the whole thing of conveying the emotion and being the emotion is something that I feel is definitely important, and also I wish could see like those two things actually interact in one meme format, because that's honestly pretty cool. That it's like, yes, this meme is conveying a emotion, but then there's also this meme that is being the emotion, which to me kind of inspires creativity. And going into what I had lined up is memes themselves can actually inspire people to be fairly creative, and memes can inspire people to be creative, but at the same time with I guess a better example of brain's shitting itself. And
well, before you
time,
finish that response, let me ask you this question real quick, if you don't mind. When would you say was like the peak of memes then?
Ooh.
By like your definition, when would you say was like one of the last memes that was actually like, oh, I can see what kind of emotions given off. Okay.
That's hard to say. I don't think I can label exactly a peak of memes without resorting to some level of bias.
I would personally say it would probably have to be when they came out with that Incredible Hulk meme, where he's like handing over the sandwich to Ant-Man.
Yeah.
And he's like, here, you can have mine. Like, there's a bit of that generous type of like aspect that the meme is trying to give off, like an emotion to it. Whereas with a lot of other memes that come out these days, it's a lot of like, let's see, what memes have I seen recently these days? Help me out here, would you? What can you remember? What kind of memes I've seen these days? You mean the one where the guy goes into the store and just presses down on all of them?
No, not that one. There's one currently circulating where it's like, let's say someone's fucking around, they find out by hitting their family jewels, and then it cuts to a rooster at the top of a tree, just screaming its fucking heart out.
Oh no! Oh, I can't. No, I've never heard that one. That's a new one to me. Gosh, it's like I said, I can't remember many memes off the top of my head right now, but like, I guess in terms of like what we consider brain rots, one of the few things that really comes off my head is the, skibbity toilet, which is pretty obvious, but then it's also like you get the ones of like kids doing Fortnite dances and stuff, and I guess we consider that all to be brain rot.
Well,
and it's like I don't know. I feel like we've all done kind of stuff like that when we were kids. When I was a kid, I used to impersonate a lot of like movie actions with my friends at school.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily consider, like Fortnite dances and whatnot, to be a part of brain rot. That's more so, at least in my mind, a subset, or not even a subset, that is more so classifiable as like cringe, which cringe by itself is not inherently brain rot, at least not how my brain's processing it. Crap, come on, brain. I had something else lined up. But yeah, no, I feel like there is definitely a distinction between cringe and brain rot, because what I'm trying to identify as brain rot is something that in general lacks creativity, lacks real purpose behind it, and in general is just there without providing much or not even really being funny.
What I mean, is it really that funny in the first place if it's just Fortnite dancing? I mean, look at Ninja when he was up at New York Square during the New Year's Eve, and it's like, oh yeah, everybody do the floss, and it's like, nobody was doing anything. It's like, ugh, that was so cringe. But it was like, I bet you there was definitely some kids in the crowd who were doing it. It's like, well, by that definition, I mean, doing the floss like that is technically brain rot in itself because of the way that it's not just something that you portray to other people, but as like an influence and being a popular thing that people do or convey to others as well. So like, for example, singing the Skibbity song or using the Skibbity lingo that people use with the Skibbity Ohio and Riz and Venom Tech stuff in a sentence to actually intentionally be cringe and brain rot like. And I think maybe what I would consider to be actual brain rot in terms of just like its own thing, and I'll get to that in a second. But the thing is just that what I would consider to be actual brain rot is the thought that it's like it's probably who it's conveyed to as well. Like maybe it's the targeted audience.
Yeah.
So like, for example, when I say the me and the boys at 3 a.m. looking for beans, yeah, we find that shit funny, but it's not like we're also going around being like, me and the boys looking at 3 a.m. for beans, But it's like, I might show it to my friends and be like, dude, check this out. It's funny shit.
Eventually we're going to stop and play with mustard and ketchup.
I'll show them that, and they'll be like, oh, hey, that's kind of funny, or, oh, yeah, I know, right? That is kind of ridiculous how memes are these days. But it's like, you gotta admit, back in the days, we also used to sing to each other the Nyan's Cat song, or Keyboard Cat, or the Trollolol song to each other, and it was like, it was almost a way of like bridging gaps in language with each other. It's like, imagine if you went to places like Japan and somebody doesn't speak English, but you just start going la 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 la, and people be like, oh, he's a troll meme. Like, memes are a way of being able to like really bridge a gap with people when it comes to like language. So when something like a meme comes out that's like, remember when that PPAP I have a pen. I have an apple. And then people would also do the same. They'd be like, oh, apple pen.
Yeah.
Like, memes are a really interesting way of being able to communicate with each other. Like, I don't know how I would really put it, but it's just like, it really is an interesting way to like communicate with others who don't even know your language, but they know the memes. So even something like the Skibbity song or Fortnite dancing, people know those dances and people know those songs without even having to speak English.
Yeah.
They just hear it and they're just like, Skibbity dum dum dum, you see? And it's like, I mean, the song itself isn't even English either.
Yeah.
It's just people know it. And so it makes it really easy to do that. And it really brings all these memes together. But what makes them so different is the fact that it's like what we consider normal memes versus brain rot is all about like who it's portrayed to.
Yeah.
So like, as I was going to go back to, it's about who it's portrayed to, which is that, you know, back then we were probably in like our
early teens,
like
probably
16s. Yeah, probably like 16, 15, maybe 14. And these kids these days are like 8, 10. So they're like way younger, but they're like getting into all these memes and stuff. And these memes kind of attract a lot of those younger audience versus the newer audience. And like I said before, I've watched a lot of the toilet war thing that was made by that dude. And I would say I'm kind of a hipster with that because it's like I was enjoying it before it became popular. And then when it became popular, it was like, not really for me.
So
it really depends on who it's targeted to and how it's conveyed to people because, like I said, it conveys a message, it conveys an emotion, or it makes you feel the emotion, and it's like, is it the meme itself that has the emotion that you're feeling as well, or is it the fact that you're feeling the emotion based off of what the meme is? So.
Yeah. So, going over back to the whole memes being a communicative bridge of sorts, that to me is also fairly interesting. Granted, I should have probably, well, you know, I should have tried to think about that angle a bit more too, because that is honestly pretty damn cool. Because it's like, as you said, it is a communicative bridge, and other people, if the meme is popular enough, can identify with it. And even then, that can also act as a conversational icebreaker, much like how talking with other people and bringing up a common interest can help kind of bridge that gap, which is honestly pretty damn cool.
Really cool.
Outside of that, another thing I was thinking of while you were talking about that is, what about the, let's see, what's the best way to put it into words? The emotional, well, not emotional, the intelligent, I guess, the amount you have to use your brain in order to understand, like, what the meme is trying to convey. So I guess it would be the... Shit, sorry, my brain's sucking at the...
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know what you're saying. I think I know what you're saying. You're saying basically like, if you're in the knowing of the meme, right? I would say...
Not quite knowing of the meme, sorry. More so how much effort you have to put into in order to understand what the meme is trying to tell you instead of, like, understanding it instantly. Like, if you have to have the proverbial gears in your head turn a little bit, and then you can get it instead of instantaneously getting it. Also, sorry, Panda, what was that? Or
so you can kind of compare it to what we're doing over here. I put a bunch of dots, and he automatically knew what I was getting at.
I used to play this a lot with my
brother
in restaurants when I had this. I'm like, oh, I know this game.
So what is it?
So
what is it? Let me see.
All I know is it's by Foggy Boxes. That's the only name I know it by.
Oh, I don't know that one, unfortunately.
It's a pretty fun game. You gotta like complete a box so you can get your many points.
Oh, that game, yeah. That makes sense.
You used to play it a lot with my brother
Uh,
at restaurants.
I guess the easiest way I can put it is the amount of cognitive effort that has to be put in comparison to, like,
if we can keep
how
track of all
funny
the
it is,
dots.
I guess. Like, if you have to put in very low cognitive effort
looks like
into
all the
it
dots
and
are
you still find
completely
it funny,
full.
or if
So
you
now
have
we
to put
gotta do
in
now is
like a bit
just
of cognitive effort,
make lines
and then you
so-
can still like gain some type of comedic value from the meme or material.
Gosh, that's kind of a tough one, I would say. With older memes, it's probably not that hard.
I played
It's
this game on the computer a lot.
pretty darn easy because it's mostly just stuff that's like,
wow.
if you know somebody's personality,
Got a lot
well,
of
it
points on
goes
that
back
one.
to the personalities they're conveying. If you know the personality of somebody who's like a total
Ricky
jerk, you would
Move.
say, oh, totally ditching somebody when you're on a date to get
Wait,
some
news is this
Cheetos from the gas station and then go
I've
hang
never
out with
seen
your friends playing
I might have crossed
Call
the
of Duty
road.
and drinking Mountain Dew all day. Like, yeah, it's kind of a scumbag move. Or
Yeah.
if somebody needed your help and you took their wallet, like, that'd be pretty scummy. Yeah, that makes sense. And then it's like if you see that one meme that was like the girl who was like smiling as their house burned down, it's like, oh, she's kind of menacing, you know? Or it's like if you know what a girlfriend is like when they're very like clingy and kind of creepy a bit, like
Mhm.
you can probably understand how the jokes go. It's like, oh gosh, remember Grumpy Cat? Grumpy Cat
Oh,
was
yeah.
such an adorable cat.
Yeah,
Also, Grumpy Cat was a girl. Did you know that?
that is new to me.
Grumpy Cat was a girl. So was that Chihuahua dog that was for the Taco Bell mascot. That was a girl. But they gave it a boy voice and was like,
this
Yo
one?
quiero Taco Bell.
No, I did this one.
It was a girl.
Huh.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
and that dog has played in other movies too. Pretty iconic.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to Grumpy Cat. The thing is that Grumpy Cat was like a good neighbor, stay over there. And it's like, oh, if you know, like the jingle for
It's back.
their insurance
Oh, the
company, it's
old-
like,
old
oh yeah,
jingle
that's
commercials.
funny.
Oh,
And it's like Grumpy Cat's attitude also makes it fit, and so it's like, oh, that's funny, Grumpy Cat, you're so funny.
Yeah.
And so there's a bit
I
of
gave
like,
you one square.
I would say like a quip, call it a quip for sure. So
yeah, I got
there's that, and then there's like, I would say memes these days probably put a little more effort
What's
in because
happening?
it's all about trying to be like,
game.
oh, you
What's
remember
really
those
fun?
memes,
It's
but check
a
out this
fun game.
meme, and
I
it's
forget what
like
it's
it's trying to
called.
do trying to do
Anyways,
better
I
than
only know
that.
about Foggy Boxes.
Oh,
In
no,
terms
wait, you
of
put
if it does do better, it kind of
put
depends
me
on the
about
meme.
these, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, there are some good memes that like they're trying to evolve. I mean, that's how memes are. Memes are just going to always evolve. So trying to evolve a meme in a way that
Can't
is
believe you
like
haven't seen it yet.
more
I
like
see one.
effort and more of a meaning,
yes.
or
That's what I
maybe
was
no
thinking.
meaning. Maybe it's just a meme to
Sorry,
be a
I'm only
silly
on a
meme.
call,
Like
by the
I
way.
made one because
Okay.
my friend was saying how like, oh,
Just
they're having a
don't
very
know that
bad
they're-
like storm with
on
snow at the
and-
moment, and he's like, thank God there's that one
Right,
4G
right.
tower that's like 35 miles from here still
What's
giving me
up?
1 bar of power. So I
Like
was
what,
like,
John?
oh, I can make that a meme. So I
Yeah.
took that Hulk meme
Oh, yeah,
and
the
I just put
skeleton?
like
Oh,
the
yeah,
1
that's
bar
sick.
of signal and was like, here you go.
Nice.
It's like
Oh,
that
okay,
one
I see.
tower off in the distance. Here you
I like
go.
that.
And that's funny because it's like
Yeah.
it's relevant to a person's situation, and you know, it didn't take me that much effort either. So it
I don't know.
it depends, because some memes I think do put some effort, some people don't, and it's like they're still funny because it's something you might relate to or might be relevant to a topic, and you don't really need to put that much effort into it.
Yeah.
I would say I would say
Question: What
memes
are
these
you
days
doing?
probably
Play a
do more
It's a very
effort.
What's the game?
analog
Say.
game.
It's
Yeah,
a,
that
it's
Whereas
a pretty
memes
old
back then, it
game.
was usually just
when I
the
was
one
little.
image, and that was about
Okay,
it.
what's the game?
Yeah.
Nowadays,
Okay,
memes are
so
also
you
doing
have,
like
like,
copy
a
pasting
row
other
of
images
dots,
over it,
all
layering things, and
line.
Yeah.
moving
All you
things
gotta do is
around.
just draw
And
one line.
sometimes even
one
GIFs.
line.
GIF memes are pretty funny too.
Yeah.
Box. If you get a box, exit.
Let's
That's
see.
basically your point. You gotta
Else was there?
complete all the boxes.
Because
And then you count them. One.
I don't know. The way
Okay.
I was like trying to tackle the topic, like originally when starting the video, was again just like an engine, taking it apart and
I got about
seeing how
30.
it ticks, and then I guess going
got
from there as
26.
to how it may or may not inspire creativity and
Yay.
whatnot.
Wait,
And-
hold on.
Mm.
One,
Again, you have brought up a lot of really good points, so now I'm just trying to think if there's anything else more I can add to.
Yep, 26.
Let's see.
Well, we
Just
could
barely.
always talk about the downsides of
Oh,
the
he said
memes these
30.
days
Dang it.
that
Yeah.
might be the reason why people call them
Yeah.
brain rot.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure that the reason we call them brain rot is because, well, we're
Oh,
obviously
that
people
took-
who are part of a meme age
I
that
swear to my
has
brother just
long
said-
passed, and
playing.
part
My
of
dad taught me.
change when
my
it
brother
comes to
like-
memes
like, oh,
especially
see.
is that people
It's
don't
like,
really
there's a
like
game
change that much. I mean, it's no
on,
surprise. Change is always happening around us, and change can be
Windows,
scary,
called
sometimes a
Abstract
little
Games, which has
risky,
this game in it.
especially when you're something like a
Oh,
big company who
hey,
relies on
Oregon.
having to
You can find
change and
it on,
adapt to the
Internet Archive.
changing environments around you.
And another
It's
one.
pretty risky.
Yeah.
You might
So
have to do
people
virtual
don't really
machine
like
to
that
do it
change,
forward,
and
I don't think it really works for
in some cases you
Windows.
just kind of have to go with it, or else
That's
you
where
get
Windows 10, I
left
think.
behind.
Yeah.
I mean,
my
lots of
goodness,
memes
who
have
knew?
been
It's
left
been
behind for
forever.
obvious reasons.
Keep downloading the game
And
whenever
some
you get a
memes
chance.
do make a comeback. It's just,
Oh,
it
yeah.
is a thing, and it
Like
can
this game,
happen.
and I
It
like
will
Wushu
happen.
tiles.
It's happened multiple times,
Oh, I
and
never
like
did
I've
get
said,
any
even the
Wushu
troll
tiles.
meme
Yeah,
has
the-
come back.
the
Oh my
tiles.
Yeah,
goodness.
definitely not
Yeah.
been
Um,
a thing.
There's also Toaster Run, which seems like the biggest game of all
hmm
of them.
But like people, they're kind of scared of that change, and
What the hell?
when we see a change in memes, it's kind of
What?
it
Right,
throws you
okay.
off in a way.
Yeah.
Because-
I am plushie.
The way that these memes are now, it's like, how are kids into this type of stuff? This stuff doesn't really seem to work. It doesn't mesh with me. And it's like, that's because I don't think the memes were exactly targeted to you.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've watched Skibbity, I watched like the first 8, maybe 10 episodes of that Skibbity series. And then when it started really taking off, I was just like, maybe not so
Yeah.
much for me anymore. Because it's like, I don't think the targeted
was-
demographic was really for me, per se.
Dang, it's really 10.
Oh,
SFM videos as a general are really
Prime, did you
good
wanna
though,
try
and
a
I
game?
think they're funny. There's a lot of
Nah,
funny,
I'm
like
good.
nonsensical
You don't want to play Dots
SFM
and
videos
Lines?
for TF2 and stuff that I've
I'm
seen that are
kinda
really
done
funny.
with
And it just happens
games.
that the fuck boom, when he made that series, it was like, oh, that's kind of funny.
I
That's
have an
silly.
avatar with action
And then you
picture
start
on
going
it.
into it, and it's like, oh, he's like
Oh,
making
yeah.
some sort of like
People
straight up
watch it,
series
like,
out of
like
this
a
whole
pull
thing.
lever and it's-
Now it's like-
machine.
You can't go anywhere
just gotta
without
remember which
seeing
one it was.
like a Skibbity plush, Skibbity
Oh.
Legos, Skibbity
There's a
weird
technique
random toys
to
and
wait
merchandise in
almost all time.
stores.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh,
it's
But
become
machine
something a
detective
lot
too.
bigger of a deal, and
Just
it's
the
like
next millions.
I don't like it for that reason.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me.
I mean,
Maybe it
that-
is, maybe it isn't, but it's like it feels like that stuff is no longer being targeted to me as somebody who enjoys a funny or interesting meme. So
Yeah.
Cabbages.
I think that's how it is for a lot of people too. So there is a bit of this whole like, oh, I don't like the change in the way memes are
Oh,
these
PC,
days. But then
isn't
it's also like that's also
It's PC
because
and
it's
Quest.
not really targeted
It's
for
PC
us
Quest.
too. Especially as memes evolve, it's always
Oh, this
trying
one
to
says I
introduce
still have,
memes to a younger audience who are going to make their own
Can I
memes.
explore, but I don't think it works.
So, about that.
mm,
Ooh, hold on, sorry, I was lagging a little bit. About that. I understand where you're coming from with the whole like stuff becoming mainstream and then like losing interest in it. Also, sorry, before I continue my thought, you are welcome to
Like this
introduce your opinions as well. Feel free to join the conversation. And then
Cute being right, go.
also, who is
Oh, this is just
Oh, this was just
it's a
discussed.
stream
Hi,
thing. Sorry.
Beatsy. Hi again,
I have to
Beatsy.
Edit to certain
Oh,
things.
I am petting my boyfriend.
Oh, recording. I'm so
if you'd like,
Hey,
sorry.
you
don't
are
kill me.
welcome to join in on the conversation and also input your own opinions. Currently we're
What do you
taking
think
more
of memes these
philosophical-
days? Memes are just brain rot.
We're taking a more philosophical approach to discussing memes and
yeah.
Sorry.
just kind of like discussing how it affects people, maybe like what's the makeup of a meme, and in general what its identity may be comprised of. So,
I wonder
but
if
yeah,
we can have a
that
card
brings me
set
back to what I was about to
eventually.
say. I understand where you're coming from with the whole not liking stuff whenever it becomes mainstream, because at the same time that could cause it to lose a lot of what made it special to begin with. And I feel like that also is like, as soon as it becomes mainstream, it's going to start trying to appeal to as many people as possible, as you're saying with trying to appeal to younger demographics.
You know, take
And
that
then
where
it
it's just
will
Uh-huh.
slowly lose what made it
bad waffle
special to
drawing.
begin with, what you may have originally liked.
No.
And that's not something that's
No.
like specific
Waffle.
to meme culture,
No
but
waffle.
also to many
No.
different forms of media.
Waffle,
Like, for
bro.
example, if a game series that you liked way back when suddenly went
Ah,
mainstream,
there it is.
and now they're trying to be as cash grabby as possible to appeal to as many people as possible, that's going to eventually water down like the original
Yeah.
personality of the
I
game.
remember doing that.
And a great example of this is Skate, or the new Skate game.
I think it's
Skate
older
used to be
than the
this
70s.
incredibly kind of grungy, kind of
Bro.
lowbrow-ish humor, but it was also realistic and represented skater culture. It wasn't afraid to shy away, or it didn't shy away from the whole kind of like gruesome side of things of like, if you hit this wrong, you're gonna break this bone. The Hall of Meat was a prime example of that. But now in Skate 4, they've
I
done away with
loved
all
the
that
Hall of Meat.
in order to
Wait, it
try to
works.
appeal to a mass audience. So in a way, by it going mainstream, it does lose a
Wonder what
lot of
happens,
what
though.
originally made it
You-
like special to begin with, and what its
Actually
original personality would have been. Like.
I
Right.
didn't see it on my.
And then
Right.
lastly, like a different
Here,
example of
personal-
this is Fortnite. Fortnite in itself has
Give me big money. Give me big
sometimes
money.
become a bit of a
Aw.
singularity of
Yes.
different
Grab a
IPs
can.
crossovers, where its original level of identity and uniqueness
He's playing for himself.
kind of took a backseat to featuring as many crossovers as possible. And as such, I believe
Yo,
that
that's-
creativity
yo, we
may
got
have
triple
also
pop.
dropped a bit as well, because it is no longer focusing on what makes itself special, but is now making an attempt to
Like this-
appeal to a wider mass of audiences, which in the long run or in the grand picture of things could also lead to a sort of death of creativity,
Wait.
if you will, if
Wait,
more media starts taking that approach instead of focusing
Oh, for sure.
on
What can
like
you?
what it wants to
Like-
be and
Go
its
ahead.
core audience. And sorry,
Hmm.
last with another example is a quote from Arrowhead, the
Aw.
creators of Helldivers. A game for everyone is a game for
Ah.
no one,
Oh,
which again to me is
Oh.
further proof of that example of if you appeal to everyone, your thing will be nothing.
For 2000 years,
I think it might
you can
depend
buy it.
because I think there is definitely some
Buy
truth
what?
to that. But I think when it
Buy
comes to
that
trying to
Avatar.
appeal to everyone,
Wait,
there's
wait,
more
you
of
bought that
a
Avatar?
you can
But you
appeal to
can't,
everyone, but that doesn't mean that everyone will
Because-
like it.
Yeah.
And I think if
I
you
bought
keep
it,
trying to appeal
finally.
more and more to
Yeah, but
trying
you
to get
can't
as many
customize
people as you
it.
can to play,
but you can't
you start
customize
just
it.
kind of
it basically says
smoothing and
I can
polishing out
rig
your
to
game that
jackpot,
has
rig to win.
all these different jagged
Right to
edges to
lose.
it that makes it unique
Like
from
the
other
videos.
games that people tend to like. That once you start polishing down all of those
Oh,
hills
right,
and
same thing
edges
as
and everything
the,
and making it too smooth,
the actual
it just
jackpot
makes it
Avatar.
kind of bland and
Avatar.
boring and
Yeah.
way too clean.
That's probably
Yeah,
And
it's
that's what I've
oversanitizing.
also seen recently with a
probably
lot
is.
of people who have played Fortnite and people who've played Minecraft. Minecraft especially is starting to go down that route because Minecraft used to be a game where it was just a game about placing blocks, building what you wanted to, and then surviving the night.
Yeah.
And it's still that, but it's a lot more adventurous and trying to do all these exploration and combat things where it's like, I don't really know if it fits that vibe because
They have a free gimmick
remember the whole
Avatar.
situation people
from
had
Dragon
back
Mode.
during the update to 1.9 when they
really?
introduced the new combat system,
See?
and half of the entire Minecraft community did not like that update.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of them even refused to update to 1.9 past.
Huh.
And
Who's
it's like,
that? Who are you?
part of me thinks it's not really that big of a deal, but then
Oh,
I can also
what?
say that, well,
Well, I mean,
kinda does, because then it
I don't
changes
know
up the whole
how I
combat
like
system
that.
that everybody used at the time. But it's like,
You don't know how you feel about that?
I don't know. I
Yeah,
feel like it's one of
yes.
those changes that I,
don't
think
know how
doesn't
I
even
like
really
that. I
matter.
don't know how
But
I
over the
feel about
years
that. There
lately,
we go,
things
good.
have kind of changed,
Okay.
and I don't know if it's
Um,
because
oh,
of
okay,
like
this,
maybe
huh?
because of when not and time, but getting
Hey,
a lot more
no,
greedy
hey,
with how
no,
they
no,
handle
no,
things.
like them. I don't
Something
know.
changed,
No, no,
and
no.
that definitely affected Minecraft negatively because
Yeah.
we get these updates that are really cool, like the caves and cliffs, the Nether update, but then we're not getting things that we might want as well, such as like
Yeah.
an end update or a new combat update that might make it so that we could
Aw.
choose if we wanted to play with the new combat or the old combat, or something that's more fair for everyone.
Yeah.
Because if you say that you want to make an update that's like for the fan base, that should be something that is like agreed upon by the fan base. That like, hey, you guys said you
person who
wanted
made
this,
that,
well then let's consider it.
version
But they've also said that
moved
they've
out
got
on
this
their
whole
own.
rule book, which didn't even exist until Jeb took over.
Yeah.
He just kind of added that in himself. And it's like, why do you have that rule book if you're not even going to use that rule book? Because it's like, well, rules were made to be broken. And clearly they have broken some of their own rules because, for one, they said no furniture. Well, now we've got bookshelves.
Yeah.
We've got shelving that you can actually put your stuff in to display the items that you're selling or maybe that you want to equip for later. And we've got like all of this redstone mechanics and stuff, and it's like, I don't know. It might be a bit of a hot take, but I don't think that Minecraft should revolve around the redstone. It's a really popular tool for people to play with and to be creative with, but I think the creativity should be what comes from the blocks that you build with.
Yeah. I mean,
But if all that
Mhm.
creativity is mostly focused in redstone, you kind of pull all that attention away from everything else potentially in the game.
Mhm.
And I feel like there's been so much more focus on redstone these days that it's not so much the building as much as the redstone building.
Yeah. I mean, so one thing that stuck out to me, like when you were talking about that, is the whole updating it and, adding more features, but at the same time, is it kind of a wolf in sheep's clothing kind of situation? Is it keeping like the original vibe of Minecraft before it was put under new ownership? And to me, that's kind of like, yes, they are adding new things, but is this something that like the original Minecraft would have done? And so that's further like, okay, we're adding in caves and cliffs. Okay, that seems like a fairly Minecraft thing to do. And then there's other updates where, like you said, how the new combat update was pretty controversial. It's like, okay, are they adding stuff that makes sense to add to the game? Or are they adding stuff to try and slowly convert it into something that can be heavily monetized in the future without actually giving consideration to what the game's identity might have been like before all of this? And then as for the redstone stuff, or I guess more so like the furniture and redstone stuff, there is like a thing for having little options produces more creativity because it's forcing people to be creative with what they already have on hand instead of using something that's already prefabbed, I guess. Because before all the furniture updates, people used to use kind of like stairs as seats. They used fences and pressure plates as tables, and that was really creative. And so by adding in more of these features, they might be decreasing the amount of creativity that can be had with the simple building blocks. And then as for redstone, there is also like a decrease in creativity because now people have much easier options in order to create things that would have otherwise taken entire chunks of redstone to do. So there is definitely a decrease with that as well, but there might also be like an increase as well as they figure out new ways to do so.
Well, if that is the case, then it would be a surprise that why would Hytale be doing so good with all these new mechanics and new blocks that they have in the game, which can do the same thing that Minecraft's furniture can possibly do, and why a lot of the people who do play Minecraft, typically when they play modded, they use a lot of those mods that adds those furniture in because they know that players will want those type of mods.
Yeah.
I think if you were to ask any player, they would say that that's actually not the case, that you can do a lot more with the things that you're given than you can with the restricted amount of things you can do.
Yeah.
Like, you give more people options to do something, and that raises how much you can do. So for like example, if you've got a combination lock that only has 3 numbers, well, there's only so many codes you can possibly input. Whereas if you added another 0 onto that, you suddenly get like 100 or 1,000 more possibilities on top of that. Like, differences in all the codes is just, it's like a lot. And even if you gave some even if you gave players the ability to simply turn stairs sideways, that would immediately increase how much creativity people can use
Yeah.
to their advantage. And I think being able to have that as an open possibility, just open, is a significant add-on to increase people's creativity.
Mhm.
And Jeb himself has gone on to say, after he had played Hightail himself, that there is a possibility this could be something they would look at in the future. It was the fact that he said that it was never that it inhibits creativity, until somebody then called him out on his own tweet saying, it says right there on the Minecraft reporting feed that, like, yeah, we don't want to add furniture because it inhibits creativity. And you've seen a lot of YouTubers who even echoed his same thing, where it's like, it would be nice if they added this, but, you know, it inhibits people's creativity. That's not really the case.
Yeah.
If you give people the ability to use a broad range of things, they're going to use them in whatever ways they possibly can. And by inhibiting what people can and can't do with the things that they're given, it's a little harder. It's a lot harder, especially when you cut out a lot of the people who could be creative but don't have that ability. So, like, for example, you could probably find some players who can make a workaround for a better torch, because nobody probably wants to just light up their houses with only torches. There's got to be something better. Maybe when you're making a Minecraft medieval house or a castle, you probably want it to be like a sconce or a brazier. And you might find something to work around that. But if you just had that option, tons and tons of people would want to use those a lot more than just the normal torch. And there would be situations where people would use torches. And it's like, if you gave people the options to have campfires, you know, then you could do a whole lot more stuff with that, because Minecraft doesn't want to give you like particular like wood slats, wood shelves, or wood racks or something like that. But it's like, when it comes to a game like Hightail that lets you do that, you can use even those things in weird, wacky, creative ways of their own too. Like the new roofing and tiles that are in Hightail. Imagine, you may see it as just normal roofing to replace stone stairs, but it's a lot more than that. You could flip it upside down, and because of the unique textures that's on the underside of a roof tile, it has this wood beam structure foundation, which makes it good for like a implied support that's like holding something up. And if Minecraft could do that, it would open up so much more. Even if it wasn't just a roof tile, it could just be stairs. And even the stairs having like that unique look to it when it's upside down or something would be so much more. And having sideways things could also give you a unique shape for your doorways, and how you could create fancy like stone archways and stuff like that, and not have to use exclusively the wood or iron textures for trapdoors.
So
Being able to give people even just that slight bit of creativity with some stone slabs or maybe a stone trapdoor would open up so much more for people. And being able to like put down chairs means that you not only have to take up space with 3 blocks for a stair and 2 signs, but now it just takes up 1 space, so you can put multiple chairs next to each other and have a really nice dining room, or maybe even make like a small cafeteria with like 2 tables and a couple benches next to it, or a picnic table. And it's not going to look so out of place because the stairs are exactly the same height as the table itself is going to be, with those fences on the side, those signs that go on like both ends of the stairs.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. But yeah, no, that is definitely like very true. And also, well, another thing that I kind of should have explained a little more when I was saying, or that I kind of thought of, is that when you add more options like that, that definitely does raise the skill ceiling for like the amount of detailed building you can do, and can add a lot more. And so, I guess having like the restricted stuff would want people to have those options, so that way there could be a higher like skill cap for like, I keep saying skill cap for like making very detailed stuff. And when you do add more items, it does in fact, or it does definitely like allow people to add way more detail and add way more stuff in a smaller space, or be more efficient. aside from that, a
Mhm.
different thing that I had like for the video is also, or that I noticed when I was done writing the script was looking at like what I had written out, it did kind of boil down to like a creativity versus the opposite of whatever the opposite of creativity kind of deal. So
Well, that's the interesting thing about it, because if you think about it, you could apply the same logic with being creative in these games to as you would with memes.
yeah, I mean,
And a
like,
lot of the brain rot memes we would consider to be very simplistic and not having as much creativity to it. But it's all about the person who's making the memes and what kind of memes it is.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, a lot of these days, these newer memes, they tend to not last too long. I would say
Yeah.
about few weeks, maybe a couple months, and then they're usually gone. But it's like a good meme. It sticks around a long time.
Yeah.
And I think what we consider to be the brain rot of memes are the memes that just tend to stick around a lot longer, because it's something that, older gen people who don't really like the change of the memes and how cringy it is for these kids to be continuing the meme on for so long. It's not really targeted to them, so it's not really their thing, but it's like these kids, they seem to really like it, and so it lasts a long time. It lasts. And that's why I'm kind of thinking that, as much as we don't like it, that Skibbity meme is going to live rent-free in our heads for a good long while. Probably as long as the troll meme will.
Yeah. Oh, now I remember what I was thinking about. But sorry, I meant like creativity versus non-creativity in like a very general sense and not necessarily singly targeting one or another thing. Or at least that's what I like noticed my script was kind of boiling down to when like making it, of just like, okay, instead you could easily interchange like memes or games and whatnot with creativity, and then the antithesis of creativity, and just kind of like what exactly would constitute that, I guess. But outside of that, let's see, there's gotta be something else. I guess meme identity is another interesting thing. So I guess what I mean by
Oh
meme
gosh.
identity is the fact that let's take either Nyan Cat or the troll meme as an example. Both of those have a very distinct identity to them, and there are several contributing factors to that identity. It's the fact that one's a Pop-Tart cat and the other is black and white with a very distinct facial structure. Now, along with that, another thing that I can add on to the identity of the meme is how it is used. Nyan Cat, it's mainly, or from what I know, it's mainly just Nyan Cat, song, infinitely going, troll meme, something about trolling someone, and usually used in said format. And along with that, another contributing factor to its identity could also be the time that it was created in, and kind of existing around the same time as the other memes that would have been at least similar to it in terms of tone. So,
well, I would say I think that's true. It's definitely about like its long-term effect. Like, I would say when it comes to its origin, like when people know what the meme is, like people know that the Nyan Cat is a Pop-Tart, and that the troll faces usually imply that something trollish or mischievous is gonna happen or has happened. And that's why I kind of kicked off a lot later on in the modern days now too, where people are using it as like a sign of mischief, but also as a sign of like something not going the way you expected, when the face suddenly is going like, ooh, like there's something to it. Yeah, and it's like people know it. But I think it's kind of the same with a lot of the brain rot memes too, where it's like, even though you hate it, you know it. And you say like, where's the Nyan Cat from? Where's the troll face meme from? Probably a lot of people these days will never know what it was from. But if you look it up, you'll find out. With a lot of the brain rot memes though, it's not too hard, because a lot of it is more relevant to us these days, especially with a younger audience. but give it like about 10, 20 more years, and it'll probably be the same thing where people look back at this stuff and say, oh, that's cringe, it's outdated. And then we ourselves or the kids of our days now will suddenly be the ones who will say that those modern memes 20 years from now will be a little cringe or just not all that funny at all.
Yeah.
It's always a thing that's going to be evolving, and it's all about knowing its origin and like the context behind it and where it came from. That even when you know it, like you might hate the meme, but it's like when you know where the origin of it is from, you know what it's implied. So it's like as soon as somebody hears the Skibbity song start playing, you're just like, ah, geez, not that again.
Yeah.
Or like when the Nyan Cat pops on, you're like, oh, I remember that. Like, yeah, people remember it.
Right.
People will remember a lot of these memes, but
Yeah.
most people probably forget about the meme after, well, I mean, I've already said this like multiple times, but yeah, people will know them, but they'll kind of forget a lot of some of these memes too.
So that also reminds me. Another thing that I had thought of when originally creating the script is the proverbial soul of the meme, or let's go with that one for right now. So the proverbial soul of the meme, which right. Okay. Good night. Anyways, as I was saying, the proverbial soul of the meme, right? Or I guess a more specific and or narrowed down way of saying it would be the vibe of the meme, I guess, where I believe the creativity, the meme itself, and also come on, brain. I guess the vibe of the meme, I guess, or the proverbial soul. Sorry, I had something, but then my brain just kind of forgot for a second. But that
I
to
see.
me is something that's interesting because it's like several different parts of the meme kind of constitute what that vibe would be, and I guess it would be kind of like the tone itself, how the meme is used, and then what content I guess it would usually be depicted with. So,
Well, I guess now that I think about it, I've already discussed a lot of like what I think constitutes how the meme works and what makes it a meme versus like brain rot and stuff. But I guess I haven't really asked myself as to what maybe you might think is constituted as brain rot versus a meme.
so
Like, would we say that the Hulk meme is a brain rot? Would we say Skibbity is a brain rot? Like,
This
what
is too
memes
weird.
count as brain rot?
So I don't think I've clearly identified what I consider to be brain rot. So let's see. How do I clearly state this? To me, what constitutes
Well, I think it's
as
known
brain rot-
globally that obviously the
Blunt.
Skibbity toilet is definitely a
Wait,
brain rot.
no, that's not.
So
Yo.
to me, what constitutes as brain rot and not like another meme is something that lacks that proverbial soul, I guess. Because whenever you're creating a meme, you are pouring your creativity into it, you're making a comedic reference to something probably, and in general, you are creating something that takes some level of craftsmanship
The gay blunt.
in order to actually produce something that other people will find funny, and as a byproduct, that is giving the meme itself a proverbial soul and or vibe to it. A better example, or a good example of this is the Mr. Incredible meme, where it's like, fine,
Gay blunt.
kind uncanny, the uncanny Mr. Incredible meme. That's what it was, and so
Oh,
that's what it
okay.
is. Like whenever, like you have something that's comedic, but you're also able to assign it its own vibe and or soul, and then what I consider to be brain rot is something that is mass produced without those qualities, where it is simply put out by, like, I guess a corporation that's basically the equivalent of Gray Slop and a beautiful 5-course meal. Whereas brain rot is, or at least my definition of brain rot, is something that is completely devoid of soul, doesn't have any positive attributes to it, and in general is kind of just there.
Huh, really, huh?
Yeah. So something that has
Okay.
like no
So-
personality to it, and
Where's the thingy?
like
that-
maybe it's just mass
Ooh.
produced for the sake of mass production.
Oh.
So would you say that Skibbity is a brain rot?
Maybe. I don't.
Would you
As much
say
as
that
I-
like the Skibbity Phantom Tax type lingo that kids are using, or like the memes like to make fun of, do you think that would count as brain rot?
Maybe. Not entirely.
Hey,
Because, while yes, that
Stop,
would
Gogurt.
be, like, I guess, not contributed, that would be assigned to the more common definition of brain rot, but not to the one that I...
You want to talk with
Blood.
us? You want to join us? We're just
I
talking
have
about
no
like
idea
what
wh-
makes memes
So-
versus brain rot.
Yeah.
Like the difference between
It's-
brain rot and memes.
Yeah, we've taken a much more, I guess, philosophical approach to it. The way I've been trying to go
I
about
don't
it
know
is
how to
breaking
do
down the meme into-
philosophical shit at 10 p.m.
Aw, come on, it's easy. All you need is a little bit of
I mean,
weed.
we've been talking for, what, how long now?
Dude, I'm not old enough for weed yet. I'm
Oh,
1 year away
shit.
from weed.
Where was I? Oh, yeah, that's right. So, again, like, all the skibbity lingo and all that, by the common definition, yes, it would be brain rot, but by the definition I'm trying to grab, or not grab, I'm trying to describe, not really. Because, at least with that stuff, there is a quotations soul to it. Because there is creativity behind it, there is comedic value behind it, and people have assigned it some level of meaning. But
Really?
let's take some of the AI brain rot, for example. That to me,
AI
I would
brain rot.
consider
Oh.
is what truly
Well, it-
constitutes as brain rot, or the definition.
Well, you
I'm
immediately
attempting
just
to
said
describe.
AI, and that immediately like threw everything out in terms of meaning it has. Like, oh,
Yeah, because I mean,
like the moment AI is brought into anything like that is just immediately like, no, that is not any sort of meaning or skill. Are you kidding me?
yeah,
What kind
and
of debate is that? Come on.
and that kind of thing is what I'm assigning this definition of brain rot to. Like anything that fulfills.
Like if I had to assign like Phantom Tax, Ohio, and Skibbity, all that stuff, I would say you put that stuff up against something like the Hulk meme, Nyan Cat, or
yeah,
Grumpy Cat. Like those are obviously brain rot. Those
Yeah.
are like way more brain rot than any other memes, I would say.
yeah,
Like even more brain rot than a lot of like the more modern memes too. Like
Yeah.
it's not so much about the meme itself per se, but of how the meme is made like throughout the real world, you know? Like it's one thing to be like, hey, check out this funny meme I saw, it was pretty stupid. Or oh hey, check out this funny weird lingo people are using, and people will see it and be like, oh, that's pretty funny, that's stupid. Alright. And then they move on. But it's like it gets to a point where it's now starting to affect some of the younger audience in a way that I would say debatably that it probably wouldn't have affected us when we were younger.
Mhm.
Like I didn't go around in the classroom singing the troll song, or just uncontrollably having to sing the Nyan Cat song as well. Like that didn't really happen, and it wasn't like I was trying to be funny or something like class clown and be all like saying something similar to what was a meme that I saw. But like these days, a lot of those memes do that, and so like people see it and be like, "Oh, that's so funny! Look at this funny dance I do that's in like relation to the Skibbity meme." It's like you go in to play a game of Prison Escape in VR, and you could be like, "Hey, check something out. You want to see something funny?" And you just crouch over top of a toilet and you start singing the Skibbity song, and it's like, that's a little bit brain rot, I will say, because it's like. Now you're trying to make it your whole thing where it's like, oh, this is a funny meme, huh? It's so silly. It's like it starts bleeding out into the world where it starts to influence not just you but other people, and so then all of a sudden you start going around and it's the same thing as like pen, pineapple, apple pen, you know, where it's universally known, people will know what the meme is, and it's like, oh, it's that meme, and it's like, oh, that's a song and the dance and stuff, and it's people will know it, and when that starts to bleed into the real world, it's like, nah, it becomes a bit of a brain rot because well, we obviously know who the memes are more targeted to because we've been over this like twice. So it's like now they're starting to get this whole thing where they are just infatuated with the meme and it becomes like part of their whole personality to like make these funny Fortnite dances, sing the skibbity song, and trying to riz people up, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's pretty brain rot. Like,
Yeah.
when you see somebody who's like part of our age demographic start doing it too, it kind of makes you think that like there's definitely a bit of a low IQ there that might be a result of brain rot.
Yeah.
Which is why it's a bit concerning as to why these memes are like that, or it's a bit, well, I wouldn't say why they're like that. No. I would say it's concerning as to how much these memes affect a person.
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, we all know about the whole Rick and Morty situation when that first came out, and everybody was making the quotes, and everybody was like pretending to be like this whole like, actually.
Yeah.
So like, there's no way you could just say that there's not some sort of like brain rot to the memes itself, because it's like, actually, it takes a very fine IQ to be able to understand the simple jokes of Rick and Morty. They are a lot more than just simply Rick saying rubba-lubba-dub-dub or whatever it was. And it's like, it's actually a cry for help, and he's actually in a severe amount of pain. It's like, yeah, that's kind of the whole point of the show, we know. But it's the fact that like you guys take it so far that it's like now bleeding out into culture that it's borderline kind of harassment, I would say, where it's just like you're now messing with people over Szechuan sauce, and it's like that's the kind of thing that makes it brain rot, is because now you're adopting not adapting, you're adopting this personality that's a meme. It's not the real you, but it's like, oh, this is so funny. Look at this funny little quirky meme that I know. And it's like, it's pretty brain rot. The memes themselves, maybe not so much, but it's like, it's definitely this whole thing of how you take, it's more so the behavior of it. So that's why it's like, whether the meme is about the emotion itself or how it portrays the emotion onto you, that's kind of where it's like the difference is. Because memes of the old days were about the emotion that those memes are, such as being very obsessive or very scummy, versus the memes now where it's like you become the emotion of the meme, where it's like, oh, I'm gonna riz people, I get that phantom tax, typical Ohio people. And it's like, some of it's ironic, but other times it's like, when it gets a little unironic, it's like, maybe not somewhat.
So, sorry, alright, my headset is getting kind of low, so I guess the last topic for the video is, I guess kind of the death of creativity. In a general sense, or what could possibly be leading towards that. Because to me, whenever I think of the death of creativity...
Oh no, there's definitely not a death of creativity. There will always be some creativity. It's just whether how they choose to express that creativity will definitely vary, and it will definitely change. It's just how we choose to live with that change to the creativity. Because I think if people decide, I want to make this meme but use AI, it's like people are obviously going to not like that. And I don't like memes that are AI generated because it's like there's definitely no creativity in that. And it's so easy to make a meme that even I make my own memes too sometimes. Like I told you, I made one about just simply my friend who just is solely relying on like his battery being able to hold one bit of Wi-Fi for connection. And it's like, it's so easy. And creativity is going to change depending on whatever meme it is or how you want to use that meme. But like with AI, it's just not going to happen. But the change is coming, and it's inevitable. A lot of people are going to use AI as they get more and more lazy, and it's probably about just the same amount of lazy as like early day memes. But it's like, if you want to be lazy to make a meme, you can easily do that now. It just depends on how much input a person wants to put into making a pretty creative meme, I will say. There are some creative ones.
I mean, the way I kind of view the concept of the death of creativity is if AI continues to be used as widely as it is, unfortunately, that's going to eventually lead to that if people cease doing like all their creative stuff and making memes that are fun and creative to look at. And also is a very sad kind of like idea. Because it is fun to see the creative like side of people whenever they're creating memes and whatnot, making like funny stuff. And then there's also the fact that people are using AI, which unfortunately doesn't have that same level of creativity. So it kind of becomes a thing of, I don't know. I mean, it kind of becomes a thing of creativity. No, sorry, my brain's not functioning.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'm trying to remember.
Here, let me help you out with this a little bit. Let me help you with this a little bit by giving you something you can think of. Try and think of memes and their creativity as like tanks of water. Each creator has their own tanks of water, and there's only so much that you can get at any time based on when they replenish that source of water. Now, when it comes to real artists who are making these memes versus AI memes, it won't matter whether we call them cringe or brain rot or if they're actually pretty good memes. If people are making these AI memes that have like no real like soul in them or effort and they're just kind of being lazy quality, well, they've obviously not got that much water to them. And people who make so much AI art and memes, it'll obviously drown out a lot of the smaller people. But the thing is, people are going to have all of this, but like so little water. Whereas the amount of people who actually are putting so much effort into these funny quality memes, whether they're brain rot or not, they have such a higher amount of water that when these people are getting drowned out here, people are obviously going to be sick and tired of it. They're thirsty. They're thirsty people. And they want something to drink. And when this AI stuff is not giving them enough to drink, they're going to turn to actual artists who can make something that's quality. Because AI can make something, but it doesn't know why it makes it. It's just doing it because it's told to.
Yeah.
There's no intent behind it. There's no reason to it. There's no sort of, why is this meme funny? What makes it funny? Or how does it make it funny? And why is it funny? So when people actually go to real artists for that type of stuff, they'll find that there's actually some pretty good memes there. And people will always want the better meme.
Yeah.
Whether it's AI generated or not, like people will want the better memes. And so a lot of the times that comes from the real creators versus the AI creators because it doesn't know why it's funny.
Yeah.
So people are going to get a lot of AI memes probably in the future, but it won't even matter because it's like, I'm thirsty, man. I don't want this AI. I need like actual something to drink. So
yeah,
take the analogy as you will. It's like people are thirsty. People are tired of this AI stuff invading everything that we have, and so people are thirsty. People just want some normal, good content.
I mean, that
and at some point, it's gonna get like that.
Yeah, I mean that does that does help a little bit with where my original brain was like, or my original train of thought was going. And as you said, like it is very much like actual artists versus these people that are claiming to be artists of, actual artists creating actual shit, actually putting their time and effort and having meaning behind it, therefore like assigning that meme like with a meaning, whether by themselves or world events or other people, and then the AI art, like people that are doing all that shit that is soulless and not having anything. And so the death of creativity can kind of be viewed as a lens of viewing that kind of internal struggle between the people that are making AI memes and the people who are not using AI. And
yes.
So from there,
yes, exactly.
I guess it's more fitting to call it a metaphor of just the entire struggle that is going on between AI and non-AI.
Mm-hmm. there's definitely that conflict, and something tells me that because of how easy it is to just simply generate something through AI, it's obviously going to open a huge window for people to be able to get into making their own memes. And I am a little worried about what that means in terms of the creativity people are going to have in the future, but hopefully it means that even though people are going to use AI, maybe they'll turn to actually doing originals at some point, because remember, just because you can do it so easy doesn't mean that you own it. So if somebody makes a meme made of AI, you could easily just steal it, make it your own, and say, I'm the one who made this, because it's not like the AI can take credit for it.
Yeah.
There's always something that can come from AI art, whether it's because it was made by AI or because you didn't use the AI. And even if somebody else used the AI, just make something with it and actually make something that is good. And, before you know it, you've got yourself a trending meme. Who knows? Something that might even last a lot longer than a couple months.
Yeah. All right.
It's happened and it will.
Where was I? All right. That is definitely like something. Let's see. All right. I believe that'll be good for now. And then just kind of like recap, like throughout that entire, what was it, hour or 2 hour long conversation we had. I believe I guess this definition we came for, the definition for brain rot we came across is something that is AI made and soulless, whereas memes are very much have their own soul, even if they do veer a little towards and in general can very much be more like a spectrum instead of something that's more black and white.
I mean, to be fair, I would say that all memes are technically brain rot, but also all memes are technically not brain rot. It's all about the generation that comes out with it.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe kids will say that, maybe their generation of memes are definitely a lot worse than the memes that maybe we had years back. There's definitely some of that.
So I guess I should be a little more clear, or use a different terminology, I guess, because in my mind, I'm like separating, brain rot from brain rot that is the death of creativity. So, with normal brain rot, it's like skibbity toilet and all that stuff. That's not really AI-made. And then brain rot, death of creativity is what I was kind of trying to refer to with some of the other stuff. Of like,
there's definitely a lot of some like brain rot AI that's made with skibbity stuff. No, Panda, we're not going there. Yeah, he's definitely right about that. Cocomelon especially. Ugh.
Yeah. But yeah, with like
God, I hate you, Panda.
But yeah, with like normal
How
brain
could
rot,
you?
it can definitely range between meme and brain rot. But there is like meme and brain rot, and then brain rot, death of creativity kind of stuff. Well, no, I'll just refer to it as death of creativity instead of brain rot, so that way it's less confusing. But yeah, anyways, trying that again. Sorry. So, the definition we came up with for death of creativity is something that is soulless, mass-produced, and in general has no real creativity or assigned meaning behind it, whereas memes and or brain rot are something that have a proverbial soul to them, have meaning assigned to them, and are created out of compassion from another person.
Oh, I thought
Our weirdest jokes are just numbers.
See, Panda, you could definitely have something to add here.
And outside of that, there's the identity and or makeup of a meme, where it's very much assigned to the date of when the meme may have been created, the tone of the meme, and what the meme may be depicting, along with the person.
I would kind of disagree on that part. I would say it almost doesn't even matter when the meme was made. It's more about its origin.
Yeah, the origin.
I would say it's all about that whole like, oh, it's the Hulk and oh, it's the cat memes.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows those, and everybody says that they're so iconic and everything, and it's like a lot of that comes from being able to know what the meme is about, and it's like the meme is about certain things. Like, people don't know the origin of the troll meme, but if you knew the origin of the troll meme, you know just how far it's come in so much of a time.
Yeah.
Like,
and
for example, the troll meme is based off a cartoon from YouTube like over 10 years ago. It was literally just a guy being like, getting pulled over by police, and his friend says, "Oh no, we're so screwed." And he's like, "Don't worry, I got a plan. Just keep a cool face." He rolls down the window and he just gives the officer that smile. He's like, "Problem, officer?"
Yeah.
Which is why back then there was also the whole meme that was added with the question, "Problem?"
that, yeah, no, that is a better thing for like the whole makeup and or identity of a meme.
People
So-
know where Skibbity comes from, and
Yeah.
people know about the Fortnite dances, the flossing, even the meme about the music. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows where it's from, and it's going to be an iconic thing that people will recognize for quite a while, as long as I would say up until like Fortnite eventually shuts down, if that ever happens.
Yeah.
People will know it, and it'll last for a very long while.
Alright, and then... Okay, sorry. Trying to make my brain work here. So, covering the difference between meme brain rot and death of creativity, the identity of the meme, and now, I guess... Oh yeah, no, we covered creativity in general with, like, the whole Minecraft thing and, like, talking about that whole spiel.